And an example I use, I think I've used it in a couple videos before. I was watching something online. I don't remember what it was. It might have been South Park. You could watch their cartoons on their website for free, but you still have to put up with a few commercials. And I'm sitting here watching this, and a commercial for Axe hair gel came on. And you see the actor standing in this scene, and it is blatantly Masonic, Freemasonic imagery. He's standing in front of the checkerboard floor, in between the twin pillars, underneath the royal arch. Blatant Masonic imagery. And, I mean, it pops right out at you once you become aware with different occult symbols. You start to see them everywhere. So I look at this, I'm like, why? You know, people would actually suggest, oh, that's just a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. They did that deliberately. It's blatantly obvious. But what makes me curious is why? Why would they use this sacred symbolism and denigrate it to sell you hair gel? It's very interesting. Now, one of the best presentations I've seen on subliminal persuasion is a film called The Subversive Use of Sacred Symbolism in the Media by the teacher Michael Tessarian. I recommend that. He does a thorough job at really looking at these different occult symbols that are used in corporate advertising. It's a great presentation. I'll put a link in the description. Now, the idea is to put the viewer into a literal hypnotic state in which the subconscious mind is suggestible, and then bombard the viewer with hidden messages which often contain heavy sexual connotations and occult themes. And perhaps nobody said it better than the late researcher Jim Keith in his outstanding book, Mass Control, Engineering Human Consciousness. And he wrote, "Here stands the new man, his mind and body stolen from him, soul reduced to the impulses of the animal he thinks he is. His conception of reality is a dance of electronic images fired into his forebrain, a gossamer construction of his masters, designed so that he will not under any circumstances perceive the actual. His happiness is delivered to him through a tube or an electronic connection. His God lurks behind an electronic curtain. When the curtain is pulled away, we find the CIA sorcerer, the media manipulator, the cyberneticist, the weaver of the dreamscape." Now, mass media ownership has been consolidated into fewer and fewer hands. All American mainstream media is owned by only 6 corporations, and I mean all. Now, those corporations are, we've got Time Warner, the world's largest media conglomerate. Its holdings include CNN, Warner Brother Pictures, AOL, Time Magazine, HBO, and many others. Time Warner's revenue in 2009 was $25.8 billion. We have General Electric, GE. GE owns major networks such as NBC. GE also owns Universal Pictures. Its revenues for 2009 were $157 billion. Disney. The Walt Disney Company generated $36.1 billion in revenues in 2009. Its holdings include ABC, ESPN, Touchstone, Miramax, Pixar, and many others. It owns radio stations, theme parks, and several publishing companies. CBS. CBS owns 30 television stations, 130 radio stations, Showtime, Simon & Schuster Publishing, and many other holdings. CBS revenues in 2009 were $13 billion. Viacom. With 2009 revenues of over $13 billion, this corporation's holdings include Paramount Pictures, MTV, Nickelodeon, and many others. And there's News Corp. This conglomerate owns Fox Broadcasting, The Wall Street Journal, The New York Post, HarperCollins Publishing, and 20th Century Fox, among many other holdings, and generated revenues of $30.4 billion in 2009. Now, in order to manipulate consciousness and maintain control, the free flow of information must be tightly regulated, and what passes for entertainment must be molded with great precision as well. Now, alternative media has been a thorn in the flesh of the mainstream apparatus and has been gaining ground as more and more people awaken to the fact that they are being manipulated and lied to by the corporate-run mainstream media. The internet has been the driving force behind the alternative movements and the only real place that the relatively few courageous presenters of information, contrary to the consensus, have a platform to present their views and findings to the general public. Now, the dark sorcerers of the insidious consortium network are hard at work doing everything in their power to censor and regulate the internet. They are also implementing ways to impose and enforce internet taxation, because in a society, if you want to maintain control over the mass consciousness, you must maintain control over the free flow of information. Now, this technology has certainly moved us forward. Anyone with even very rudimentary equipment can produce short films and distribute them online. Alternative blogs have sprung up all over. And due to the explosion of unconventional views, major media networks have lost massively increasing viewership, and newspaper sales have plummeted all over as more and more people, become fed up with corporate media and its stranglehold on the airwaves and the flow of information. But as I said, technology is a double-edged sword. With high-speed internet connections readily available, bookstores available in so many major towns and cities, libraries with high-speed internet, and the enormous amount of alternative media blogs and websites, YouTube, and so many other things available, Americans remain among the most uninformed or misinformed society on the planet. You see, so if not utilized to their fullest potential, right, all of these technological marvels seem to do what? Induce complacency, apathy, right, and a passive sedentary lifestyle. We are handed the tools of our own distraction and of our own destruction. Not many, it seems, will take advantage of what is right in front of them. To own a computer with internet access is to have a library at your fingertips. But most people in the industrialized nations do not want education. We want entertainment. For so many, what can be an amazing tool for learning, education, and the expansion of one's knowledge base has instead become a device for relieving boredom, social networking, entertainment, or a sophisticated porno machine. It seems as if so few will utilize the tools that are readily available to them and instead embrace abject distraction. Now, television frequencies, as we said earlier, the ELF waves, they shut down higher brain functioning in the neocortex while activating lower brain activity in the limbic system. Now, as stated, TV creates a literal hypnotic state on unsuspecting viewers, opening the lower mind to suggestion, and this is why subliminal messages and symbolism are used so ubiquitously. When the mind is in a trance-like state, the subconscious mind does not filter. It just accepts whatever it's presented with, hypnotism, and people are bombarded constantly with images, flickering wave patterns, slogans and buzzwords, symbolism, and the list goes on. Now add to all of this the fact that many newsreaders and politicians are absolutely proficient in the art of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and right there you have the perfect recipe for comprehensive, absolute mind control. The results are plainly obvious to any thinking person. A sleepwalking, misinformed, docile, intellectually lazy, mind-controlled populace with very little, if any, ability to think critically at all. Does that sound harsh? Yeah, well, maybe, but it's fucking true. Look around you. Now, if you can detach emotionally and psychologically and simply observe, back away, you know what I mean? Kind of disengage a little bit and just observe with open eyes, it becomes easy to see just how television works its sorcery. Just look at the average content. So much violence, right? Sexual themes, fear, and general mindlessness within the three-ring circus of TV, right? And that's what it is. It's a friggin' three-ring circus. Television presents ideas and images that appeal to the lower drives, the baser instincts. Its primary functions appear to be dehumanization, desensitizing, and thought control. Television and entertainment sets the norms in our societies and promotes a deep sickness which pervades the consciousness of the average person. Its ubiquitous bullshit seems to dominate the consciousness of the vast majority of homes and minds. As author David Icke has said, he said, the resident hypnotist in every home is an oblong black box that sits in the corner of the room. Well, but nowadays, it's a streamlined, high-definition plasma screen hypnotist. Now just listen to the average conversation of most people, right? What's being discussed around the water cooler? Is it topics that really matter? Or most often simple discussion concerning what programs were viewed the night before, right? Hey, did you see The Walking Dead last night? I wonder who's going to die next. Or, hey, did you see Desperate Housewives? I wonder if so-and-so is going to fuck what's-her-name. You know, sadly, this is the level of conversation within far too many. So few even seem to have the ability to discuss ideas anymore or engage in any kind of even remotely intelligent conversation. The art of conversation is dead. Now, a rudimentary examination of the content and the advertising suggests that TV is geared towards the lowest level of intelligence. What an astounding invention and tool for the hidden rulers of the consortium network. The controllers have found a way to program the minds of the average person while providing all of the bread and circuses they will ever need. Now, even many basic cable packages offer close to 100 channels of pure, grade A, unadulterated, mindless shit to choose from. Now, as the late comedian and social commentator Bill Hicks stated, I love this, I thought he was brilliant, actually. He was a funny social commentator, much like George Carlin. But Hicks said, watching television is like taking black spray paint to your third eye.
We're running out of time. We'll get to part 2 of this tomorrow. But let me tell you something. If that shoe fits, and you're the one talking about mindless, meaning crap, you know, you've got a lot of waking up to do, and nobody else can help you. But I'll tell you this much. I got people I care about in California. I would really hate to see some of those damn people just drinking away their lives from the water that's going to kill them with nuclear waste in it and not doing anything about it because not wake up to it. I'm part of the solution. I'm trying to do something like many other people that are waking up to this crap. Why? Because we're the alternative media. We're the ones that know what the fuck's going on. Once you wake up, you'll see it for yourself. Anyways, join us tomorrow because tomorrow will be our last broadcast for the year until 2015. Anyways, see you tomorrow night for the final conclusion.